Hey, Dan Blewett here. So softball players, let's talk about pitching inside and exploiting weak hitters. So one of the things we see a ton of with young softball players is that they're just not very big and they're not very strong. And this is one of the reasons that we do strength training and we work so hard to try to get girls stronger and more explosive so they can turn on a ball. They can turn a single into a double if they get it. They can turn doubles into home runs, all that stuff. But the fact is, most girls in amateur softball are not that strong, and so they're going to have a really tough time forcing a pitch out of the infield when they don't barrel it up really well. So as a pitcher, if this was me and I'm facing a girl who just looks kind of thin, kind of skinny, just doesn't look very strong, and this is an easy visual test, you can just basically pound them inside with hard stuff. And what's the worst they're going to do? If they don't have a lot of strength, you know, you see, say you're playing 14U and there's a 90-pound girl in the box. Is she going to take you deep, and is she going to turn on a pitch and take you deep if you throw it right here on the inside part of the plate? No. So what's the best she's going to do with an inside pitch if she doesn't get like perfect barrel to it? She's going to just get herself jammed and hit a weak ground ball somewhere to the left side of the infield, right? What weaker hitters try to do, because they know that they don't have a lot of pop, they don't have a lot of power, they're going to struggle to have the bat speed and the power to turn on a pitch. What they're going to do is they're going to try to wait and see stuff longer, and they're going to try to either, besides dropping down bunts and all that stuff, they're going to try to just sort of punch the ball through the opposite way. This happens in baseball, this happens in softball, it happens everywhere. When hitters aren't power hitters, when they're smart, they play to their strengths and try to get pitch on the outer half, and they try to punch it through the right side, because that's something that they can do. But when you don't have premium bat speed and you're trying to get hits still and be productive for your team by punching it through the right side, what is that going to open them up to? If my approach is this way, and now you pitch me in, what am I going to do with that? Nothing. And say that I did decide, like, oh, she's been pitching me in, I'm going to turn on one. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen if I'm 86 pounds? You know, like hit a weak ground ball to third base, maybe get a single into left field. There's really no consequence if you're really pitching them tough inside. So the thing to remember, if you have a smaller girl, it's okay to stereotype in softball. It's okay to stereotype in baseball. You're going to use the information that's available to you. If I'm pitching against a huge guy like Giancarlo Stanton or Aaron Judge, I'm going to make some assumptions about what he can and can't do until he proves otherwise, right? They're enormous people. They have tons of bat speed. You're going to assume those things. If you're pitching to a girl at the plate who's really big and strong looking, you're going to probably say, okay, I probably need to approach this in a certain conservative way because she looks pretty strong. Maybe she can muscle one out. But do the same thing with weak hitters and be aggressive and basically just shove it down their throat. If they're weak and you don't think they could even hit a double off you, which is probably true for a lot of young players, pound them inside. What are they going to do about it? They're not going to be able to get that easy single to right field that they like to do, and really they're going to be very uncomfortable being forced to pull a ball they probably can't pull with any kind of authority. So what the worst things you can probably do to that is throw off-speed stuff away and stuff that's going to play into their strength of trying to sit back and pop one between the first baseman and second baseman. You don't want to play into their strength. You want to exploit their weaknesses and pound them inside and force them to almost take a power hitter's approach when they don't have the ability to be a power hitter. So just another thing to think about, make sure as a pitcher you're assessing who's up at the plate, what do you think they can do, and understand how their approach and their understanding of their own weaknesses, which I guarantee they have some understanding, because if you're not a strong player, you don't have a big bat, you're probably doing these strategies, probably going opposite way a lot and dropping down bunts to try and maximize your value to the team. But this inner half part, this inner third, is going to be really tough for them, and you can definitely take this as an advantage and make their day pretty long and pretty tough by pitching them inside.